Hello and welcome to the third episode of Straight Out of College. I'm Daniel, a soon-to-be graduate from the University of Toledo. For any new members joining us, Straight Out of College is a podcast that focuses on what life is like or what it may be like after graduation. So we interview college students, graduates, just to see what their perspective is on the transition from college to post-graduation. So today we will be interviewing Dhaval. Dhaval, welcome to the show.
Absolutely, here we go. The pie-eating champion is here today. Daniel, you didn't introduce me like that. Come on, my guy.
The pod-eating champion?
The pie.
Oh, pie.
The pie.
You hold on, what?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a good story. So, the international office had the pie-eating contest. And actually also the Mortal Kombat champion. Have you played that game before?
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Of course.
So I won both of those. I have 2 belts in my house. It's pretty cool. Believe me.
So you got some titles.
Cool. Always.
Cool. So to start things off, can you just go ahead and say what your major is, the school you go to, and when you plan to graduate?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, school, it's all TOLEDO, go Rockets, right?
Right.
How could you ask me that? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, just for if anyone's like listening from outside UT.
That's right. Everybody listens to this podcast. It's so famous. All right. So my major is professional sales and marketing, business. Majoring in business. So, and actually it was by pre-med a semester ago. Now it's switched to because it was the sales competitions and the awesome business college. But yes, I'm an international student.
Okay. And so when will you be graduating?
2021.
2021. So you got some time. So you're a sophomore?
There you go.
Okay, cool.
A rising junior.
Yeah, and usually we like to interview older people on this channel, but Dhaval's he's already like ahead of the game, so
Thank
I really
you, dude.
wanted him on the podcast. So you're interning right now?
That is true. So I'm interning at Northwestern Mutual. It's a finance internship. A part of my internship, what I do is I help people I make their future financially secure, I guess. I thought it was just my calling, like helping people grow financially, because like people, as we know, are not a good financial state. # broke college student.
Yeah. Do you know what you want to do when you graduate?
I want to make a future in sales, that's for sure. I might consider finance industry, but like the end goal is to be a CEO.
Okay. So do you like to do like financial advising though, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely, I love that. I like advising of any sort, but yes, for this summer I'm a financial advisor.
Cool. Actually, the first guy we interviewed, Alec Falkenberg, he's a financial advisor. So.
Bro, that's very cool. Best of luck, Alec.
Cool. All right. So, what made you switch from? You said you were pre-med.
That's right. So
right.
I mean, this is an amazing story, my guy. So I was a bio-pre-med major coming in, like every other international student, I think. Most of them are bio-pre-meds or MECI, not stereotyping again. But here's the thing. I participated in a sales competition, and I was not a business major, by the way. I was just like, I thought, why not? Like, it sounds like a good competition, and actually I placed 5th. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I can do that great without being a business major, let's transition. Let's see what it holds for me. It actually turned out great. Like, and then I went ahead and was on the sales team that represent UT actually nationally. So it was actually great. Like, I found my calling in sales and just like connecting with people. I think that's why I do great at. So it's just communication and connecting, like establishing those relationships, which is why business.
Yeah. So where are you initially from again?
I'm from India. From a small village. It's called Siadla. I know you can't pronounce that, right? Can you try?
Siadla.
Bro, that was cool. That is close.
I got it.
That is great. So yes, I'm from a small town. English is not my first language, folks. Have 2 years of experience in English, which is like I'm still learning, but it's going.
Not bad for 2 years at all. That's really good.
So yeah, I spent 2 years in learning English, and then I'm sophomore here, so 2 years of speaking experience, I guess. But yeah, I speak 4 other languages. Apart from English, I told 5.
Oh my gosh, you should just be an interpreter. Nice. So, out of everywhere you could have went to school, what made you pick UT?
So actually, to be honest, I was gonna go to Cal State Fresno, because I just, who doesn't love California? But
I love California.
So, what happened was I met this advisor from UT, and we actually sang the fight song together.
Yeah.
So that was actually very crazy because no other school gave me that experience. Like I didn't even know that there was a song like at every university, which I don't know if there is at everyone, but we sang that one. I really felt like the feeling of home. Like it's just that I'll be taken well care of. Like obviously I would go to like the good sand beaches in California, but I would find great people here. So then it has not disappointed me. I found great people here. So that is why Toledo.
Yeah, UT, it does that to you sometimes. It definitely does that to you. Definitely does do that to you, for sure. So how's life going right now? Just, with your internship and school and...
Right now, it's literally just getting the most out of the experience. Like, I'm into a lot of organizations, and just doing this internship is just another blessing, I guess. I'm grateful for all the experiences that I've gotten so far, like being all of the exec boards, getting to know all of the administrators. Like, it's great when the president of the university knows you. Like, it's just a different and a surreal feeling. So, it's good, but still trying to make the most of the experience.
Yeah. So you're going to be going into the business industry. So what are you kind of trying to prepare for? What are you trying to look away from?
I feel like business it's very broad, like as people tell me, but it's literally if you have a set plan, I think it works out for you. So right now, I'm in sales definitely. So I want to make a career in that, and going forward, what I'm trying to indulge myself in is just meeting with different companies that I want to work for in the future. One of that companies is WWE. So
that would be pretty sweet. So why WWE?
So I grew up watching WWE.
Why not WWE? Honestly?
So that's right. Like that would be that I could say that too. And it's just I want to work for them. Because that's just the show that I've grown up watching, and being able to work for them would be a blessing. So it's just I'm working hard for it.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
Vince McMahon.
Okay.
He's not a wrestler, but I'm telling you, he's the guy you want to be with, and you want to know.
He's the boss. He's head of corporate and everything.
He calls the shots. So
okay, who's the guy that has the list?
The list of Jericho. Chris Jericho.
That dude cracks me up. He's my favorite enemy. He's you just made the list.
Daniel Lord, you just made the list. Bro, it's gonna be great.
Man. Yeah, that's a good show. Honestly, I think they would do a lot better if they made less content but made it better, because they do 2-3 episodes a week.
Yeah, that's right.
And if they just compact it into one episode of 2 hours a week, they could just get the best of all the stories that way. Because I feel like they're really stretching it out.
Bro, that's right. They have their own network, and it's like Netflix, so they have their own stars doing their own shows. So
yeah.
I feel like that's definitely stretching it out.
So have you been contacting anyone at WWE?
Yeah, actually. So the thing is, I contacted the recruiter via LinkedIn, folks. Believe me, LinkedIn is a great source.
Yeah,
use that. Use
LinkedIn,
that.
It's get ahead of the game. I know it's for old people, but old people have jobs.
Yeah,
want jobs.
Old people give me jobs. Believe me.
Yeah.
So I'm in contacts about that actually. So I might be doing one for the spring if everything works out.
You're talking to?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's my first interview next week.
Hook me up.
Bro, I definitely if they have a spot. Right now I'm interviewing for their marketing, and so what I'll do is work on sites of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing live events, so that's pretty much a marketing position.
Okay.
So I feel and I can do also 3 shows of Raw.
Okay.
So working those live events.
And so you contacted one of their recruiters or something?
So yes, that's right. If you just look up WWE recruiting on LinkedIn, related links will pop out. So people, and they can just text any one of them. It's fairly easy if you just know what to do.
And you don't even really need to pay for LinkedIn. A lot of it, most of the people, you can just message them unless they're super high up. You might have to have
that's right
a paid account, but for the most part, you can pretty much contact and message anyone.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Something about LinkedIn. I don't know. I had a brain fart. But yeah, use LinkedIn. It's really good. Oh yeah. Basically, just if you ever want to get into like a company or something, just harass their recruiter, message them. Maybe not like every day because that would be a little too much, but I've heard a lot of different advice of what to do and what not to do when contacting recruiters, where it's like, maybe I heard like a good compromise, like a good yin yang right in the middle would be around like once a month, but if you really want the job, maybe once a week. But that just kind of, it makes your name stick out, and as long as you keep sending them positive, friendly emails, they're going to remember your name, and they're going to associate that with all of the positive emails you send them. They might get a little annoyed, but sometimes that's what you got to do in order to get recognized, for sure.
That's right. Being persistent and being hardworking. Most of it is just consistency. Like, so a great person once told me, like, commitment will get you started, but consistency is what you need to finish.
For sure.
So always be consistent.
Definitely. So, how was the transition of going from India to America? Because I'm sure that would be a huge culture change.
Yes, like it was definitely a new culture. Like stepping into a population of 325 million, and it's just not knowing anybody. It's like intimidating for sure. I would say my father has been a great push. He was a person who because I was gonna end up becoming a farmer. I used to drive a tractor to school in India, and I was pretty much a farm boy growing up. But then he was the person who pushed me to learn English to begin with, and then going to a different country was also his plan. So I just followed it. I just put my heart and soul into it. And I feel like coming to the States, the best advice I would give to anybody is just start communicating, like start going out and talking to people. You can just talk to anybody and you can get a response from them. It might be positive or negative, but it doesn't matter. What it does to you is it helps you become a better communicator. And like 9 out of 10 times, being a better communicator is everything. Like it'll get you jobs, it'll get you internships, it'll get you across, and it'll get you the position that you want.
Yeah, for sure. Like we're definitely getting into a time where I feel like companies are looking a little less towards the skills you have and more towards who you are as a person. There's like a saying where people don't buy your product, they buy you, which I don't think that's exactly how it sounds. It sounds like slavery. But like they buy your personality is what I'm trying to say. And so definitely that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily work on as much, as working on your soft skills, working on being able to communicate better, and just improving your personality. It is important to have the skills, and that definitely does help you stand out, but you also need to make sure that you're well-rounded in those other skills as well. And that like really applies to every industry. You just basically, wherever you go, you need to be a nice person. Be nice, be friendly, know how to talk. For sure. So is there anything that's been difficult recently that you've been trying to overcome, or
I feel like every day is difficult, right? Every day has its own set of problems, but right now is definitely making those connections because of the internship. Like you have to build those connections. What I do is I help people get financially secure. So in order to do that, I need to make those connections, like reach out to people who need help, because they're not just gonna know my name and reach out from nowhere to communicate like, yo, I need help. So it's just like building those connections up, reaching out to more people, and definitely connecting with different people. I feel like that's the thing I've been working on. Yeah,
and I feel like the hardest part's always making that initial connection, because it's almost always just gonna be awkward. But once when you meet the person, it goes up from there, and usually ends up working out. And when it doesn't work out, it's a learning experience.
That's right.
So,
there's the next person. There's always a better person.
Right. So I know you've only been in college for a year now. Is that correct?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. So over the past 2 years, what are some things that you regret, you kind of wish you didn't do, and what are some things that you're happy you did do?
I would say I don't have any regrets because I feel like I would have done it either way. Because what I think is just do everything that you can, and then we'll think when it's here. So definitely, like, there were some learning experiences for sure. So things I could have done better were like, it's just things that I failed at, right? It's like things that you fail at is things you could have done better on.
Right.
So That might be one for the student body president. I wish I could have better marketed myself, but I did everything that I could. So it's next time it's definitely might be like early campaigning. Other things, I feel like everything was a great learning experience. Everything taught me something, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I did everything that I did.
Right.
And the things I didn't do are the things that I think I failed at, because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Quote Wayne Gretzky. Quote Michael Scott. Are you familiar with The Office?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was an Office reference. I highly recommend watching it. Every white guy in America is gonna tell you that. But yeah, I love The Office.
Yeah, I heard it's a very funny show.
It's hilarious. It's very cringy. It's like cringe funny. So if you like to laugh at things that make you feel uncomfortable,
that's right.
Then yes,
I totally get you. You know, life is a cringe.
For sure. So what is something that you've really enjoyed that you've gotten out of college over the past few years?
I would say people. That's the reason I came to Toledo, and I'm very happy very grateful that I got that experience out of the people. So I think the connections that I made, the people that I met, I wouldn't have met them if I wouldn't have gone out, or I wouldn't have come to the States. So I'd say all my life, I've been grateful for the people that I met.
Cool. And then you're in a bunch of organizations. What were those organizations you're in again?
So I started my career, I started my involvement journey with student government. Then I was involved in CAP. Then I was involved in ISA. Then I was involved in a bunch of other organizations as a general member. But I've been on the board of all these organizations, and I love that. I love that.
Cool. Yeah, I remember running into you all the time for CAP and as Blue Crew, and you'd always be my hookup. You always give me free stuff. So
absolutely.
So I never had the app.
So that was my internship at UT Athletics. It was a marketing internship. That was great too. That is how I came to know about Blue Crew and being so close with them. That was great.
I hate that app because it doesn't work on my phone. I can download it, but whenever I go to the events, it just gives me an error. So, and you better believe that I'd be getting first place for everything because I go to every game. So yeah, that stinks. But it's whatever. But and then you are in student government.
That's right.
Cool. I know you had a huge campaign for.
That's right.
For president or
for the student body president. That's right.
And you were close, I'm pretty sure. Right?
It was 6%, folks. It was 6%. I don't know how we lost, but we did. So
I mean, you were both really good candidates, so it was definitely a tough call. But you really did a good job. From my point of view, you did awesome. You definitely killed it. So what was the experience with that? How did that go?
Me and my running mate Jersey, and I'm also grateful for Jersey for running with me, actually, for trusting in me. It was definitely a lot of, we put blood, sweat, and tears into it. With everything, we were just pushing it on to communicate with more people, because the reason was to understand their problems and solve them, right? It's always a problem solution. That's how people get sold. That's why you buy anything, because of your need. So it's learning what their needs were and coming up with how we could solve them. That was all our campaign was based on. It was not us providing a solution. It was us finding a solution for a problem. So, and we found all of those solutions. So, and position or not, we'll still strive for solving those issues, because we promise people, and we want to come through. We want to follow through our promises. So I mean, it will definitely be more harder, but also we promise that we'll solve it.
Mm-hmm. So are you really into politics then, or?
I mean, I would say so.
Or just you just more solving problems, or more of the.
I mean, actually, I don't know. I love politics, to be honest. I was I don't know, in India I was the class monitor. I don't know if you have that in the States. Do you?
What's a class monitor?
That's the head person in the class, the boy in the class who
We have a class president. So
I was that for 6 consecutive years.
Wow.
So it was great. I loved it. Yeah. I love being that. So I mean, which is why I don't know. I just love it. I just love to represent people and to solve people's issues. So that's what I strive for.
Do you see yourself holding any positions like 50 years from now? Or?
It's very hard to tell because I researched and you can't become a president of the United States if you're not born here. So
That's true.
I don't know if I will be the president of the U.S., but of India, I don't know. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for that too.
Mm-hmm.
If I go back.
Definitely. So, sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
No, it's all right, my guy. You can
That's
answer
the power of editing. You can just cut things out.
You're all right.
But okay, so what is the most important factor when you're like looking for jobs? So like when you're getting ready to graduate, what's something that you are looking in a job that you want out of that job?
Once I get ready to graduate, my thing is just to make an impact. So the job that I hold should have. I'll look for a position that will have I'll have to address like a lot of people at once. So I'm not like a person who likes sitting behind a desk and be on the computer all day. That is the that's my least favorite thing, like shooting on emails. I don't like emails at all.
Yeah.
What I do like is like having phone conversations and like talking to like a group of people at once and just addressing them. So that will be a job that will be something I'll definitely look for in a position. And the fun thing with sales is that you do that all the time. You meet different people all the time. So, which is why sales. But yes, I feel like that is the most important thing. I mean, other things obviously will be compensation and whatnot. But like the main core will be like what I'll give back to my community. What I will do as a part of my position will be like a lot of rhetorical stuff, will be new stuff every day. I'm in a position that challenges me every day, that forces me to come up with new solutions. I think that will be the position I'll look for.
So a lot of people like to say they like to look for a company that feels like a family, or some like to look for somewhere where they get a lot of money, or some like the benefits. What's the one thing that really sticks out to you, like number one thing?
Number one thing, about a company that sticks out to me is, it could be family, but I'll go ahead and say culture. The culture of the company, like how is it? Like, is there a lot of like friendly communication, or is it just people trying to like put on each other and like just put over, like step on? But because I'm not that kind of person, right? I like working in a team and getting things done. So it's just like I'm pretty much a result-oriented person, but that should come from a group. Like, there are individual efforts, but I didn't think that it's actually like stepping over others' people. Like if you like, I want a culture that literally like you can go off of each other and just come up with something great, because like collective effort will be required for you to just build great things, right?
Yeah.
Because nothing was done by one person. It was a group of people that literally put in their hours of work to get something done.
Yeah, for sure. And that's actually something I talked to the guy in the last podcast about, Trevor. We talked about group projects, like in college, how the concept of it's really good, but when you actually do it in college, it usually doesn't work out, because you have the people that don't care about their grades, or people that just don't do anything, and it ends up being that one person doing the whole project. But when it does work out is when you have group projects in the actual workplace, because you're kind of being forced to do it, because if you don't, you lose your job. But like when you have people doing their expertise and putting all of their mind power together to do one common goal, you can do a lot of really cool things out of that. And when group projects do work really well in college, that's when you end up having a really cool group project, because it works out and it flows better.
Yeah, a great example would be Avengers.
Yeah, for sure. Avengers, definitely.
Have you seen that movie, my guy?
Oh man. Okay, yeah, we're gonna talk about Avengers, so spoiler alert, just skip past this part. So yeah, how do you feel about it?
Bro, it's I didn't like Avengers 1, the Infinity War, but I like the second one, the Endgame. It was beautiful, it was tremendous.
Me personally, I loved the first was it Endgame? Just because
I would you love that movie.
It was just so cool, because all of the characters just come together, like from all the past movies, and I just feel like in the newer one, I didn't care as much for the way the story flowed.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel like it flowed as well as the previous movie, but I still really enjoyed it. I love the movie. Like if I were to give it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 9. It's just I don't think it was good as the last one. But then I think another thing that could have created that bias is when I went to see it, I saw it like a week later, so there was like no one in the theaters. There's still a good handful, but compared to probably what it would have been like on the opening day when everyone's there, it probably would have been a much more different experience.
Yeah, people were shouting like crazy. Having the second day. The reason why I like the first, why I didn't like the first one was because it's a superhero movie. Why did Thanos win? Like, shoot.
See,
like,
that's
no.
good. So, like, did you feel emotions at the end of the movie?
Let me remember the first one. Was I in the Endgame or the first one?
The first one.
The first one?
Because people are dying, you're just like, no? Like, you didn't feel any emotion.
I was disappointed. You
disappointed?
Yeah, like, shoot, why did they lose?
See,
I was expecting somebody to come out of the sky and beat Thanos.
I wasn't disappointed. I was, like,
you were
heartbroken.
Oh,
I wasn't crying. I was just like, oh my gosh. It was like
that makes sense.
It was like almost like a shock kind of a moment. And so, for me, I don't like endings like that, but also I understand why they do it just because it's all kind of required for the bigger portion of the story because it helps create that build up because it's like a roller coaster. If you don't have that going up, you're not going to have the same feeling going down.
Yeah.
Unless they make some new roller coaster where it just it starts going up. And I stand corrected. But like you need that build up, you need the downs to make the ups feel that much higher.
I mean, I would definitely agree, but like the thing is, it's a superhero movie. You cannot make the villain win. And the reason why I like the Endgame was, in the end there was a big war and like the superheroes won.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously like sacrifice. Where there's war, there's blood.
Right.
Like, Tony Stark, we don't have him anymore, but
super sad.
Yeah, spoiler. But yeah, I already get the spoiler. But it's all right. But yeah, bro. But I loved it. Like when they call out, like that's where the part where Cap says Avengers Assemble. Like,
yeah,
that's great too.
All right. Now
chilled on the spine.
Now, if all the hero or half the heroes didn't die in the first movie, do you think the second movie would have been as effective?
No, I feel like the build-up was necessary, right?
Yeah.
But it's still definitely not good. You could have made a 6-hour long movie and I could have watched it.
I gotcha. But yeah, Infinity War. And I also liked how they literally just cut Thanos' head off and.
Oh yeah, I was shocked.
It's just like out of nowhere.
I was shocked.
And I liked how it created the emotion of that emotion you get when you get payback for revenge, where you cut his head off, but now what? It's like you get that feeling of just okay.
The only thing I didn't like about Endgame was the Thor's arc. I feel like he was a god. Like, shoot,
dude,
he was a god.
No, I felt the same way. Do you see any? Have you been staying up to date with like the Star Wars movies?
No.
No. So one of the characters, Luke Skywalker, he's basically this very passionate, optimistic guy. He's always wants to do good, and like even when all the odds are kind of against him, he's always like, yeah. We can do this, guys. And then in one of the more recent movies is like when he's much older and is in another dark period of his time and he's not optimistic anymore. He's just all doomy and gloomy. He's like, yeah, we're not going to win. It's like, no, like he's optimistic. He can't just
give up, yeah?
Because he was at a much lower place and he was still optimistic. And then that happened. And I was like, what? And I feel the same kind of thing happens with... What's his face? Thor. Like, he's this dude, like, he literally lost his whole family, and he was like, screw this, we're killing Thor. And then, like, afterwards, like, he kills Thor, and then he just gives up. He's like, meh. And I feel like that transition just wasn't his character.
Yeah. But, no, man, and I feel like he's a god. Come on, folks. Yeah. He becomes, like, he has all this physical transformation, which is I'm okay with. I mean, like, I'm not, like, commenting on, like, obesity and stuff, but it's like... you can't just give up. I mean,
yeah.
But I also understand why.
Yeah.
Like he failed, right? He failed he lost his home.
Dude, he had a nice haircut. I don't like him with his flow. I like him with the haircut. Let's be real. He looks better in the other movie.
Gods are supposed to have long hairs.
For sure. Cool. So that's Avengers, everyone. Moving on. So if you could have any job, what would it be and why? Like any job in the world.
Could have any job in life?
Yeah.
I would be a god.
A god?
I mean, I'm a god right now. I'm just kidding. But no, could have any job. I would say, I don't know. That's a great question.
Be ruler of the universe. You could be a
Yeah.
ice cream shop owner. Maybe like a hockey player.
I'll be a